9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Happy Friday, everybody. This is your timeless elite, your PR princess, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me on this Friday edition of WWT Live. Of course, we're a little late, but we didn't want to leave you hanging on Friday night because, of course, we have SmackDown tonight. We also have AEW Revolution happening this weekend in Los Angeles. So, of course, there's a lot of stuff happening. And then some news that just happened around the wrestling world because, of course, we are also on the road to WrestleMania in Vegas. But thankfully, I am not alone. And this is a special treat on a Friday because you get a ladies edition of WWT Live, and I am always so happy to see her with me, my sister. And if you need any advice when it comes to the blue brand of SmackDown, she is your go-to person. She'll give you the ins and outs and everything you need to know. It is the sweetest Oos Wrestling with Honey in the building.
I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me. Yes. Buzz, my beautiful busy bees of the WWT universe. I'm so happy to be here. Happy Friday. What's up, Courtney?
What's up? It is Friday because there's just so much. And I did like the reference to Randy Orton because that's like, it just kicks off the mood with Friday anyway. But shout out to Maria Garcia. Shout out to Eric Isaac in the chat. And before we even get into SmackDown, we do have a few breaking news that happening in the wrestling world. And TNA, if you did watch TNA, and actually they announced it on their socials today, we have another person that is signed to the company, Candice Michelle. TNA posted on their socials today. You see her with Carlos Silva and Tommy Dreamer. And we've talked about this for the last couple of days. We've had Ash by Elegance resign. We've had Alyssa Edwards resign, Steve Macklin, AJ Francis. And now we have Candice Michelle joining the TNA roster. And honey, I just want to give your quick thoughts in. Was this a good move that TNA did?
I think this is an interesting move. I think this is really cool. I think it's a very good take on a little nostalgia play and a little veteran presence. Candice Michelle is definitely, if you don't know, a former WWE Women's Champion and part of the mid-2000s era. She was very she helped pretty much transition like how women's wrestling was told into more an athletic storytelling. Where it was kind of also lost in translation. It was that fine line between, the whole hit like a girl era, you know what I mean? But Candice Michelle has definitely going to probably be used more as like a legendary mentor figure. I could see. I'm not sure about a run. I think that would be quite interesting. But I think it's somebody that I think she's someone that's perfect that they could use, especially for the women's division in TNA that could elevate the younger knockouts.
Yes. I mean, she was a former WWE Women's Champion. She has done a lot. It's going to be very interesting too. And I know with the fact when Steph DeLander quit TNA, that was a little bit of a blemish within the Knockouts division because she did say a lot in some interviews that she had the last 2 weeks. But hopefully with TNA and especially the Knockouts division, because the Knockouts division played an important role when TNA first started. A lot of people may not be aware of that. And this could be a good opportunity for Candice to be in a mentorship because we've seen so many past knockouts come in the last couple of weeks. We've seen Mickie James. We've seen Tracy Brooks. We saw Goldilocks, who was a former manager to Abyss last night. So this is going to be very interesting. And especially with the fact to the storyline between Ash by Elegance and Mickie James, it kind of elevated a bit. And we got to see ODB a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So congratulations to Candice Michelle on being with TNA. I'm sure she's going to do well. And you never know. We may see her cross over to NXT.
That would be very interesting.
Super interesting.
I would like that, actually. I don't think that would be a bad idea.
It would not be. See, it would not be a bad idea if she crossed over to NXT.
No, I don't think so. There's still a lot. There's so much to work with on the women's division, and they're trying to, they're building more with the TNA one. And then, of course, you see where NXT's stands right now. There's still so much to work with, so much that they could use. And we'll see what happens as we're going into Stand and Deliver, and we'll see what unfolds for the future of TNA, adding Candice Michelle.
We shall see, but give congratulations to her on signing with TNA, and also because it is women's wrestling talk. We got another news related to women's wrestling. After making her wrestling return at Wrestle Queendom 8, Charlie, formerly known as Dakota Kai, posted this on her socials that she will be in Vegas during WrestleMania week and will be wrestling for House of Glory. She broke out the news today, and when you look at everything, the matches, the events happening in WrestleMania week, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger by the minute.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to get your quick thoughts on this and just everything, because this is her second match. Charlie, this is her second match coming to WrestleMania week in Vegas and wrestling in House of Glory. That's been on fire these last couple months.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool to see, because I mean, I always had my eyes on Dakota Kai, aka Charlie. And as far as in the ring, even from when she started in NXT, and even in the indie scenes early. I think she's a phenomenal talent, and I think she's perfect for House of Glory as well. And it's also awesome for her first Mania week booking or Mania booking around that time, around the hottest time of the year for all wrestling promotions of all kinds everywhere. So that's very big for her. And House of Glory is, been on the rise for quite some time, and it continues to grow with bringing in recognizable faces such as her. You've seen the likes of Matt Cardona, you've seen Zilla Fatu there, you've seen Karrion Kross there, Killer Cross, excuse me. But yeah, it's just another hot commodity to add to the House of Glory roster, and that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool booking. I'm very interested to see who she could go against.
That's going to be very interesting too, especially with the fact, as you mentioned with House of Glory, we've seen many stars. I mean, Private Party came back to House of Glory. We've seen MJF fight Zilla Fatu. Yep. We also seen Indy Hartwell come back, Shotzi, along with many others. But it's going to be interesting on who Charlie is going to face at House of Glory. I'm very excited to see that, but I'm happy she's getting a lot of bookings. I would not be shocked if she got a few more bookings during WrestleMania week, but this is a good start for her, especially with the reputation House of Glory has. This could be a good stopping start for her.
Absolutely. Agreed.
So congratulations to Charlie, formerly known as Dakota Kai, on this opportunity. And like I said, we have breaking news by the minute. So we want to give a shout out to our friends at Busted Open, because Monday is 316. So
Ooh.
You gotta have 316 with none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin. The guys at Busted Open are gonna have Stone Cold Steve Austin on 316 day. And how exciting is that going to be? And honey, I just want to get your thoughts on this, because this is really huge. I know we always celebrate 316 day for Austin, but how do you feel that he's going to be doing an interview with the Busted Open team?
I mean, that's monumental. That's huge for Busted Open Radio. And I mean, for Austin to get up out his ranch, wherever he's at, to, make his way over to the studio, to the guys, Dave LaGreca and Bully Ray and everybody, it's just, it's a treat. This is going to be a treat for everybody. I think this is, it's a rare occasion. So, everybody's going to tune in. I mean, he's the biggest, one of the greatest WWE superstars and most recognizable superstars in the planet. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see him out and about, and him getting the interview for once, instead of him doing his podcast that he's done, or him running the show, or his production team and things like that. So it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool for Busted Open. I can't wait to see it. I wonder where else he's going to go, or where else he could possibly pop up on 316 day. It ain't nothing but a flight.
it's a possibility, but this is a good treat for David Greca, Bully Ray, Mark Henry, Tommy Dreamer, all of them, because we know Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the biggest and influential superstars in all of professional wrestling. Doesn't matter, because he's wrestled in WCW, he wrestled in ECW, he wrestled in WWE. He pretty much is a pop culture icon. And he made a huge remark. And plus, it's nice to see him get out of the ranch, and he has his cats there in the ranch and all his animals. If you watch his interview with Chris Van Vliet, he had like his cats were coming in and during the interview, which I thought was really funny. But it's nice to see Austin get some interviews. And obviously, of course, you're doing it with one of the biggest wrestling podcasts, obviously, with Busted Open. And very curious on what's he going to say. Like, what's his reaction to the current product of WWE right now? I'm sure other businesses that he's going to do. He has his own brewery, which is really cool. And also, who knows? He may, not Monday, but I'm just saying he may turn out for WrestleMania week. I'm just saying he could.
Hey, if you put it out there to the universe, you never know what you could manifest. Okay.
But congratulations to our friends at the Busted Open Radio Podcast, Mark Henry, David Greca, Tommy Dreamer, Bully Ray. Make sure to check it out on Monday on 3/16 day at 11 a.m. You do not want to miss this interview. And since we were talking about Stone Cold, because not only Monday Night Raw, he was also on SmackDown too. And honey, since you are in charge of SmackDown with the Blue Brand, I'm giving the keys to you. What do we have? What do we have for SmackDown tonight as we gear up towards the road to WrestleMania?
As you know, guys, you got to tune in to Women's Wrestling Talk tonight at 8 p.m. at that time, because it's your girl, the Sweetest Sue. She's going to be running the show for 3 hours, a 3-hour special SmackDown of more action-packed stuff going on. We got, of course, I'm going to start with the ladies first, because it's Women's Wrestling Talk. That's what we do. We got the newly crowned tag team champions, Lash Legend and Nia Jax, defending their titles against Char Bliss in a little rematch there. I definitely sense shenanigans, because there's more than one tag team that is after my bougie bullies. I'm not calling them irresistible forces, bougie bullies. So there's definitely going to be a lot going on there. We have to gear up to see what the tag team division is going to be looking like for WrestleMania coming up. We also have some Miz TV and a special guest, Jelly Roll, two men that have been very familiar with each other for WrestleMania season. And we're going to see what Jelly Roll's business is going to be for tonight with The Miz. Can't wait to see that. We also have one-on-one action, because we've been seeing a lot of interactions between these two feisty ladies. The champion Jade Cargill will be facing off against Mi Chien tonight, one-on-one. Of course, Jade Cargill has been dealing with a lot of mommy, and she's also made some enemies backstage in Mi Chien and B-Fab and quite a few others, and soon to be Charlotte, I would hope. But in this case, these two are going to be going at it. It's going to be a clash of the feisty, spicy ladies. And of course, this is probably one of my particular favorites that I'm very much looking forward to. We got Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa of the MFTs going against My Wyatt Six. But this duo is going to be Eric Rowan and Uncle Howdy. And I think it's quite fitting, being that, we are still fighting for the return of that lantern to be back into the hands of the Wyatt Six. And it's only fitting for it to be Eric Rowan and Uncle Howdy. What was it? Rambling Rabbit in this case. Only because they need to defend the honor of what that lantern really means. And those two men know specifically why that lantern is very important to this family. So there's definitely going to be a lot of craziness and chaos going on there. And of course, there's this. And as I said, I hear them voices. And my voices tell me when there's a contract signing, there's definitely going to be shenanigans, especially involved with the table that's always set up for these particular said contract signings. Cody Rhodes, the champion. against, I can't believe I'm saying that out loud confidently. Against, we'll be facing Randy Orton, and they have to get ready for their match at WrestleMania. Even though we already know it's a lock, I'm not sure why we would need a contract signing, but yeah. SmackDown, don't miss it tonight. Tune in with your sweetest oos at 8:00. What are you looking forward to seeing tonight, Courtney?
I was just gonna answer that question. I mean, obviously the ladies, of course. I mean, the ladies are definitely gonna do something. I'm very curious on what's gonna go between Tama Tonga and Solo, especially when they face off against Eric Rowan and Uncle Howdy, only because we do have number one contenders for the tag team titles. So that's going to be very interesting on how this is going to play out. We know it's R-Truth and Damian Priest are the new number one contenders, but very curious on how that's going to fold out, especially if you have the MFTs and the Wyatt Six feuding with each other. And they and the MFTs have the tag team titles. So that's going to be very interesting on how this is going to play out. Obviously, of course, with Jelly Roll coming in, I think they're trying to add some star presence onto WrestleMania leading up to Vegas. So maybe there's a reason why they reached out to Jelly Roll, especially since he has appeared in SummerSlam.
Particularly.
So, but yeah, I'm excited for the ladies. I know everybody's like for Jade for Bianca, but I know people want Jade versus Bianca, but I've been wanting Jade versus Charlotte.
Yes, they've definitely been hinting little Easter eggs at that ever since the arrival of Jade. So we will see what happens when they touch upon that. But of course, you guys know you can tune in with the sweetest news tonight. The show broadcast live from the Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix, Arizona. And Friday the 13th. And it's good to be a good Friday night. And there's 37 days until WrestleMania 42.
Well, speaking of good things popping in,
I mean, I didn't happen to say the name, but did you say anything? Did anybody say his name?
I mean, I didn't, but
I could have sworn I said something.
You
say his name and he appears. I believe it said.
Hello, everybody. What are we talking about today? What are we talking about today?
Holy cow. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever, man. What's up, Seth?
Oh, man. It's a beautiful day. Friday the 13th.
I think I know what it is. 2 years ago, Mercedes Moné made her debut at Big Business on AEW.
Big business. Big business. Lots of money. Rolling in the dough. It's a positive week for the mayor.
Put the shades back
Positive week for the mayor.
Good Lord.
I wasn't here on Wednesday. I tried to be here on Monday, but I was here last Friday before Vengeance Day. And I just want to put a message out to all you bald-headed hoes at the PC. Yes, this includes you, Dion Lennox. You will never challenge my client to the underground and expect anything less than an ass whooping. 2 letters, 1 word, knockout. That's all we do.
Well, interesting. Well, since you came in, and I don't know if you heard of the SmackDown preview, but is there anything that catches your eye regarding SmackDown tonight?
Anything opposite of Cody. If it don't gotta do with Cody, sign me up. Sign me the hell up.
I hope
we got MFTs and Wyatt Six. We got Trick Williams. Anything outside of Cody, sign me the hell up.
I hope Dion's not watching this.
Give me a good answer to the call of Carmelo Hayes, US.
Damian Priest, R-Truth, sign me the hell up. Everything else, like I ain't got no more stories in me. It's not time for reading Rainbow, even though I'm a fan. I ain't got no more stories in me.
Oh my God. Oh man.
I ain't got no more.
Talk about throwback. Well, since we were talking about Mr. Cody Rhodes, if you caught it, Cody Rhodes was on Chris Van Vliet's Today. Interview is up now, and he had some very interesting words to say, which I thought was very fascinating. And he kind of goes on to say that he is honored that he is a polarized wrestler. And he kind of goes into details during his interview today, kind of describing the last couple of weeks, because it has been a little bit of a polarizing for him. And hold on, give me 1 second, because the link ain't working, and I just saw it on Twitter earlier today. But talk about yourselves. But he pretty much goes into detail a little bit about like being a polarized wrestler, and especially after winning the WWE title, and also with the fact too, the video that he won the title, it actually has more dislikes than likes, so that is also another factor in there. But pretty much you can check out the interview. It's fully dropped today, and also hold on, let me see, because he did talk about it, which I thought was really fascinating.
You talking about the quote about Roman?
No, it was the other one. The other one that he admitted. Oh, here it is. Explaining why he feels honored to be a polarizing wrestler. He goes on to say, there's a thing. I'm honored by it. I'm honored by the passion of both sides of the coin. What I like to do and honor those who are so excited and those who are so not. However you put it is, I want to make sure that I'm not gotten to by it. I think with everything I've been through and everything in the business, you hear people say you got thick skin. I could definitely say I have thick skin because I used to not have thick skin. And he goes on to say that, but just some quick thoughts in there, because he said a lot of things in the interview.
It's not his fault. At the end of the day, Cody's doing his job. He's doing what the writer's room is imploring him to do. It's really his orbit and how he is portrayed as an on-screen persona for fans like myself. It's like when you're in that Cody vortex, nobody around him that gets in the vortex is better because of it. And that's the problem. It's that we get fed these feuds and rivalries, and they might look good on the surface, might look good on paper, but you don't expect anybody to defeat the presumed hero. And that's the problem. It's gotten so watered down. And now we have all the backstage politics coming to light with whatever he said about Roman and him having a very interesting relationship. And now if you put two and two together, you feel like Drew was kind of screwed out of walking into Mania as champion. But at the end of the day, he's doing his job. And I kind of agree what he says about being polarizing, because at the end of the day, we're talking about him. If we weren't talking about him, then he's failing at his job. But since he's a constant topic of discussion, then it just works. They're going to keep feeding the same stuff until we have like no words for Cody Rhodes at all. And that's like true go away heat. We're going to still keep seeing this version of him. Personally, I wish he would just bring back some dashing tips. I think that might increase his stock a little bit. Some skincare routines. I would love to see that. But like this like whole QB1 superhero thing, it gets old quick.
Honey, I mean, you talked a little bit about Cody last night on Kayfabe, so
I talked a lot about Cody last night on Kayfabe.
You talked a lot.
The quote that concerns me, that specifically came out of his mouth, is, "I don't care that you boo me because I've seen what you cheer." Just couldn't help but notice, like, there's, looked like there was some lasers coming out of his eyes. Like, I couldn't help but like wonder, like, are you all right, Cody? You feeling okay, man? Are you doing all right? You've been really feisty lately. Just maybe you need to take a chill pill. Just a little chill pill. Eyes look red. They look like they were glowing for a second.
See, I'm the opposite. I actually liked when he was undashing Cody Rhodes. It was just something about when he was undashing in a way. It was just like he brought. Yeah, he brought so much. And even when he was Intercontinental Champion, he brought a lot of prestige to that belt. But that's just me. But I did like it when he was undashing Cody Rhodes. It's interesting because I'm not going to blame Cody on him. It's like kind of what Seth said, the backstage part about it, which a lot of people don't know. And it kind of really sucks because when he won it, there wasn't that many storylines in particular for him. It was just very hard to see. And it sucks they didn't further his rivalry with AJ Styles, because that was a rivalry I would have loved to see further, because there was definitely some heat within each other and they knew each other for years. And obviously, of course, right before he got injured, Kevin Owens was starting to heat up him versus Kevin. And it was starting to come into play, which obviously, of course, right before Kevin's injury, that really did suck. But Cody's doing the best he can. And also, a lot of people are talking about him. you guys remember when John Cena was Super Cena and everybody booed him from the building, or when he went in, it was during ECW One Night Stand against Rob Van Dam, and he had so much heat in that building. That kind of reminds me of a little bit, but they're still going to be talking about Cody. He's still going to be doing the interviews, but we'll see how it plays out.
In a sense, I'm trying to think of whose fault it is, and I don't want to mince words, but I want it to land properly. In a sense, it's kind of Roman's fault. It's kind of Roman's fault, because I think ever since the long title reign, the writer's room is kind of like, oh, all our title reigns need to have meaning. They need to be long. No, like, you win the title, but I'm not necessarily saying you have to hot potato titles, but if you don't have titles change often within a 6-month time frame, who's the depth at any division? Women's titles, tag titles, we see those get passed around. I think we do a lot better by creating more parity in all divisions if titles change hands more. Maybe that's the loss of house shows. Titles used to change at house shows periodically. But I think we need titles changing hands more to show that, hey, anybody's a threat. Right now with Cody, I don't believe anybody's a true threat to him. And that's a problem. It makes me turn away from the product.
Honey?
I mean, it's what happens when you jumping into timelines and shit, man. I'm just saying, like, this is what happens when you ruining timelines. I don't know how it, I don't know necessarily whose fault it is in this regard. I think it's just a matter of how things have played out over time, and with what they've worked with has led up to, where they are now. But it's really concerning, because it's like, why hasn't anybody really broken from the pack throughout Cody's reign? Like, why hasn't anybody, like, with what said why hasn't anybody been able to be considered a threat to Cody? I mean, but in particular, I guess the only one who technically can be a real threat to Cody is Randy and somebody like Sami Zayn. I think those are two particular people that can definitely, because considering the interactions that have been going on TV and with the storyline and how that's playing out, there's a lot to be said with that, with Randy Orton, especially because of the veteran, the veteran that he is, and because he was the mentor, for Cody in this case.
Wow. It's going to be interesting, but check out Cody Rhodes' interview with Chris Van Vliet today. It dropped today, so make sure to check it out. Shockingly enough, we were talking about WrestleMania. There's been a lot of internal frustration over WrestleMania 42 promotional shifts.
And external.
Yes, external. It's external. They're both internal, external. This is pretty much how you put it. But apparently there's been a lot of shifting when it comes to graphics and just promotionals and friction behind the scenes, and courtesy of a report from WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful. Those tasks with creating the show's visual identity are dealing with a lack of clear direction from leadership. And apparently it goes into detail where one source indicated that the creative vision has never been fully solidified, resulting in a constant cycle of graphic requests. The original concept was to promote the event with a high-end, classy vibe, a theme that was featured in the initial WrestleMania teasers. However, since those early promotional materials were released, the direction pivoted many times, leaving staff to continuously network the event's promotional elements. And also the internal or external frustration comes at a time where WWE management is obviously reportedly under pressure to boost ticket sales for WrestleMania in the 2-night event. And we already know back in February, the leadership held a multi-department meeting because internal projections showed the ticket sales are not buzzing as they did last year. So pretty much. No, exactly.
Really? But you don't say.
Tickets also went down this past Monday. I think the cheapest for either night was in the 170s. So they're taking note. And I think public perception is that, hey, you can squeeze them a little bit more because we still don't have a full card for either night. So
Nope.
why would I spend hundreds, $200s for nosebleed seats when I don't know what's going on? Like, I don't know where rivalries are going to end. And it kind of, if you look at this time a year ago, man, as a fan, you were eating so good because that John Cena farewell tour masks so many deficiencies, so many things.
Mhm.
Like a lot of shows that John was on last year, we didn't care what the other matches were or rivalries because
Distracted.
we had the farewell tour. This year, in the same exact building, we don't have that, and we see everything busting at the seams. Like we don't. What happened to the vignettes where the women's division, the men's division were at the poker table? Like we've moved so far away from those things that we don't even know if we want to call WrestleMania that type of theme in Vegas this year. On top of that, we're cutting feeds from local casinos and watch parties nearby to try to force people to buy tickets to the actual show. They are scrambling. This could be one of TKO's biggest tests to date, how they pull this off here next month.
I kind of wish I could just sit in that room and just listen and just see what are we doing with the planning, because they had it with the ladies right there. And then when Liv Morgan came back, they added Liv in, and then it just kind of like whoop. And then you're adding all these different graphics, and it's like, okay, seems a little bit of inconsistency and stability when it comes to tickets. And TKO, obviously, of course, they got to scramble, and also because they have a the other one that's in UFC. I'm just saying it, but that's yeah, that's a different conversation for another day. But I just think there are just some things, and plus, this is WrestleMania that you can't fumble with, especially for me because if I was in that room, it would be like a year-long process because it's one of your biggest shows of the year, lots of things to plan, and also with that too, coming back for Vegas, and also with the fact too, with your Hall of Fame, so far you only have 3 people inducted in the Hall of Fame this year.
Here's my theory, and this is why I think everything is so like wishy-washy, like very well up until what the 18th and 19th next month.
Mm-hmm.
It's because this WrestleMania wasn't really about putting on the best show. It was really about saving money. How much money can we save? Because next year we're going to Saudi, and we got to save money and all these costs to ship all that stuff over. Which performers are going to go? How are we going to bring WrestleMania week to Saudi Arabia? Everything's really a wash, and it's showing. And they thought that as fans, we would just pull up anyway because it's WrestleMania. But really, it's like, why do I want to go to Vegas again? What else is out there? How good is the card? Because we know next year they're probably going to pull out all the stops just to like put on a really grand show overseas. That's what I see is happening. Like, I don't know what's going to be on the card next year in Saudi. Looking at you, Hickenbottom. I expect you to be in them red tights. But it's going to be something.
I mean, it's just strange. Like we were talking about it on Kayfabe, and we talked about it earlier this week. It just doesn't. The buildup this year completely has taken the air out of the room as to the buildups we've been having the last decades of WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like the buildup is just nowhere to be found. No host announcement. No, no more like why are we taking so long to announce these Hall of Fame inductions? I mean, I'm not saying like who's to say it's too early or too late, but I'm just saying like the build up, the press conference drama that there was in 40, like it's just, I feel like there's so much that has died down from it because of the fact that, I mean, it all started when they changed the location.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, like it all started when they changed the location, and that was
supposed to be at New Orleans, and then they changed
at New Orleans, and like, come on now, and now, and then the prices, and then then you moved it to Vegas, and so people already knew once that happened. If you didn't if you thought the Vegas before the year before was expensive, like look at what they're doing now, like. And they didn't budge on lowering any prices or anything like that. There's just like so many other layers and factors. It just seems all very confusing. And the fact that we still don't even have the full card, like you said, Courtney, is just bananas. Like, not even a full card, but at least we should be on our way to getting somewhere. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen these next few weeks. You know, something might change my mind tonight.
We
And
got
also-
a pending Brock Lesnar Open challenge that they've only talked
Oh
about
my
the very first time.
God.
And Paul Heyman has excommunicated himself from the vision
That's
weeks before WrestleMania. Like, we
And
really
also-
don't know what's going on.
No host, no star power, no theme music by the weekend, no build up, no celebrities, and no venue change. Nothing. Like, what's
and
going on here?
also with the fact too, you took away NXT Stand and Deliver, and they're doing it at another city.
The affordable show of the week that you can actually
Hello.
go to, sit in the front row, is in St. Louis,
With no
which is
problem.
yeah.
It's weird.
Well-
it's just all really weird.
Well, before we get into bold predictions for AEW Revolution, we do gotta talk about something that's not weird. That's actually exciting because March is Women's History Month. And we're going to talk about the Women's Wrestling Archive because we get to celebrate all things women's wrestling from the past, the present, and the future of women's wrestling.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might say he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Support everything you have for the Women's Wrestling Archive. $1, $2, $3, even $20. You could support this.
$100.
Yeah, $100. Support everything with women's wrestling. Shout out to our boss lady TK because she created this. This is her baby. Now, we got bold predictions for AEW Revolution happening this weekend in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. And we do have 2 matches on 0 hour. The first match, we have the TBS title, Willow Nightingale taking on the newest signing, Lena Cross. 1-on-1. Honey, I'll start with you. Who do you got winning in this match?
I'm going with Miss Nightingale to retain. She's on a good run. And yeah, I'm sticking with her.
Said, who do you have winning?
I am going to be picking blindly, admittedly, but I understand that Willow is pulling double duty on this night. So she's defending both of her belts, which makes me feel like one of them will be dropped. Don't think it's going to be this one, though. I think she retains the TBS title.
Yeah, I think Willow is definitely going to retain the TBS title. And she's been a fighting champion these last couple of weeks and really want to see her build that up. But also, by the way, too, if you are in LA tomorrow, our friend of the show, Denise Salcedo, will have a show tomorrow and she will have Willow Nightingale on there. So if you're not busy in anything else, feel free to check out her show. And if you love Willow Nightingale, check her out as well. And the second match that we have for 0 hour, we have a 21-man blackjack battle royal for the AEW National Championship. Don't ask me what the blackjack battle royal is. Ricochet's defending his title. 20 other people. Said, who do you have winning this thing? I don't know who's going to be in it.
I can't call it. I don't want to say he'll lose his title because I don't know who's in the battle royal. So I guess this is going to be a showcase for Ricochet to retain.
Maybe. Honey?
I don't know. But just, I mean, if I'm going out on a limb, like, let it be somebody like Brody King or like Samoa Joe to just completely demolish this guy by the end of it all, you know? Something like that.
I mean, hey, that could happen, but I mean, I can see Jack Perry in this match. I mean, he did pin Ricochet, and those two have a rivalry right there. But I can't see like Jack Perry winning it at a Blackjack Royal. It has to be 1-on-1. I can see Jack Perry in this. I could see Shelton Benjamin in this because we haven't seen him in the last couple weeks.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be fun to see Shelton Benjamin come in, and many other people. Shibata, I could see probably because we know Samoa Joe is still hurt. We don't know when he's coming back, but
oh wow, I didn't even know he was hurt. I thought I saw him like a week ago. 2 weeks ago.
I know Samoa Joe.
What's happening over there?
But I'm gonna pick Ricochet to retain this because I feel like him and Jack Perry need to meet 1-on-1 at Dynasty and just let it be done. I need to see that. And also, I didn't get a slide for this, but there is a third match. AJ Boom and QT Marshall taking on the Infantry, but that's a third match. I don't have a slide for that, but yep.
No, you are the timeless elite.
but that's 0 hour. But now we're jumping into the main card for AEW Revolution. We have the AEW World Trios title. We have the Don Callis family, Okada, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis taking on Jet Speed and Mystico. Said, who do you have winning?
I'm just going to use the logic that I recently saw Kevin just re-up his contract. So maybe this is a chance for him to capture gold here. So I'm going to pick Jet Speed and Mystico.
Honey?
I don't want to do this, but I'm going to pick the Don Callis family for once.
I may have to second that, even though I don't like that creep, or as Jeffrey calls him, Mr. Peanut. But yeah, Jeffrey called him Mr. Peanut because he's a bald peanut. I'm only picking the Don Callis family only because I just want Takeshita to beat Okada for that international belt. I just need him to get rid of it. The trios belt I could care less about, but just don't have him with the international one. But it's going to be a good match between all 6 of these, and also very curious on where this is going to go. But their mid-card division is starting to build up a little bit, as I've seen with that, the TNT title, and some of their other ones. So their mid-card division is shaping up, and I'll give kudos to that. And we also have this match. Bandito taking on Andrade El Idolo.
Idolo.
Yeah, tranquilo, idolo.
Man, taking on Andrade. He's been on a hot streak. I'm going the opposite. I'm actually picking Bandito to win. Bandito seems very entertaining. And plus, he was very funny in the media scrum when I did Ring of Honor.
But the ladies love El Idolo.
I know. They're starting to love him a bit, but people love Bandito more.
No, you said people love Bandito. I was just saying the ladies love it.
Oh yeah. All the ladies.
Andrade out here showing thigh meat. He trying to get his woman back. I see what you're doing.
You better stop.
I see what you're doing, sir.
My God, Andrade.
Said I can't with you.
I see the game plan. He's like, he took over Jade's baddie section.
You think it's a cry for help? You think it's a cry for comeback? That's what you think?
The blueprint is clear. Blueprint is clear.
Oh yeah, trust me. The ladies been taking photos of him, and we also have the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. The Babes of Wrath taking on Megan Bayne and Lena Cross.
Yeah, this the title change I got here. Bayne and Cross.
Honey, who do you have?
I might have to go with Bayne and Cross too.
I'm only going with Megan Bayne and Lena Cross only because, I mean, there's just no stopping Megan Bayne. She hasn't lost a match in a while, and they want to keep continuing building her momentum. So I'm definitely going with Megan Bayne and Lena Cross to win. And we have the AEW Women's World Championship. The Toxic Spider Tekla taking on Chris Statlander. Honey, who do you have?
2 out of 3 falls match. Interesting. I mean, I'm gonna go with Chris Statlander.
Chris? Said, who do you have?
Tekla just got this title. I can't see that short of a title reign, so I think she edges this one out.
There's just something about Tekla that's there since she's came into AEW, and also the brutality the last time these two ladies meet. But I am gonna pick Tekla to retain, and it's going to be interesting after Revolution because they'll shift it on the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament. So I'm very curious who's going to be in that tournament. We shall see after Revolution.
The CEO is going back to back in that tournament. By the way, this is how she starts her trajectory towards the AEW Women's World Title. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh Lord,
that'll be the last belt that she has. That'll be the belt that she keeps, taking her to where we want to go.
We shall see on that because hopefully I know she'll be back soon for the tournament. But switching gears, Swerve Strickland, Brody King, two guys from the Pacific Northwest.
They're doing something really good here with Brody, building off his popularity, the fan reaction as well. I don't know how this rivalry started, I'll be honest, but I've seen clips of it online. I think this would be a really marquee win for him. I think you can honestly say Swerve has moved himself into like pillar of the company territory, big four, if you would, men's division. But I think this would be a statement win for Brody King to kind of put himself into that elite status. So I'm going to pick Brody.
Honey?
I want to pick Brody for the same reason said, but I swerve when I drive.
Most dangerous. Swerve when you drive, but no, I had to put that in there.
No, but I personally think like I think all the things you said, but opposite. I feel like Swerve is just going to continue to prove himself. I feel like there's possibly could be a factor that could cause Cody, like Brody King is going to be dominant, but Swerve is going to come out standing, I think. Barely.
Brody's definitely shown a lot the last couple weeks. And pretty much it kind of started when Kenny Omega said Brody King is the most dangerous man of AEW. Swerve didn't take kindly to that. So that was very interesting. But I'm happy to see Brody like being in rivalries with other top guys in AEW, from MJF now to Swerve, and just seeing him branch out a little bit. And we did see a little bit of Bandino helping out his tag team partner. I am going to pick Brody for the win. I think this would be a good signature win for him. And also with the fact too, Swerve has another person that's on deck, and that is Kenny Omega. And I can see the two of them facing off against each other at Dynasty, since Dynasty is in Canada.
Oh boy.
But that's just me. It's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have
this elite prediction.
that's maybe, but that's the Tornadoes Trios match. We have Roderick Strong, my guy Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, taking on the War Dogs, Gabe Kidd, Clark Connors, and David Finlay.
Taking the dogs.
Honey?
I'm going with any I guess it's weird because it's like I don't want to bet against Darby. He's a crazy son of a gun, man. But I'm going with Darby, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong.
I'm gonna do it. I never pick against my guy Orange Cassidy. And also with the fact too, he wants some retribution against the dog. So I'm taking Roddy, Orange, and Darby Allin, because Darby's Darby. Darby's just crazy. But we love him anyway.
Yeah.
And then we have Timeless Tony Storm and Marina Shafir one-on-one. Everyone is banned from ringside. Honey, who you got?
I never bet against the Timeless Elite, and I never bet against Tony Storm. So, and I'm not about to start now. It's going to be the performance of a lifetime, darling.
said.
I see this one the same way I see the Brody King Swerve match, like an opportunity to bring somebody else into that era of the women's division. Shafir's been doing solid work for a long time, like quietly. And I think she's kind of come into her own. I don't want to say she was in the shadow of like Roderick Strong or anything like that, but as a wrestling couple, you always thought about Roddy. But now Shafir is kind of like her own thing in the midst of like, oh man, I'm losing the name of the faction here.
The Death Riders.
The Death Riders. Kind of like the second in command there. So I got Shafir actually pulling out a win here. And I think it would help like really build her towards somebody who can hold the women's title eventually.
Yeah, I think Marina has definitely shown a lot. And I know they're trying to protect her in any way possible because she has been showing it, especially being alongside Jon Moxley. And John was the one that brought her into AEW. Like, John was the one that saw something in her that many people didn't. And she has starting to show up in her own. And I do think it's a good opportunity for her to be with Toni Storm, especially the top woman in AEW. Being a multi-time AEW Women's Champion, it does give her a lot of opportunity to work with her and really have that chemistry. But I can't bet against Toni Storm. I can't do that. But I am picking Toni Storm. And there was one slide that I missed, and it was actually Jon Moxley taking on Tenosuke Takeshita for the AEW Continental Championship. No time limit. 1 hour time limit. Somebody has to be a winner.
That's probably if I'm in the building for sure on Sunday, that's the match that I want to see the most. Because I've been pulling for Takeshita really hard for this past year. I really feel like they should make him the face of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I really do. This is a big match. I did see the clips of him calling off the Don Callis family because he wants to beat Moxley the right way with honor. I see a strong match. I see these two shaking hands after the match. Jon Moxley is the heartbeat of AEW, but I think this is a good chance to actually elevate somebody else. So I'm taking Takeshita. Takeshita been bodying folks for greater part of the past 2 years.
Yes.
This is be a big marquee win inside of AEW that I feel like he needs. So I hope he gets it.
Honey?
Everything said. I happen to agree with that. And I feel like that's something that Jon Moxley would do. You know, he's like said, he's the heartbeat of AEW, and he's put in so much work for so long, and he's been such a great draw, and he's put so much into this business since he's joined it. You want to eventually, make room for other top guys, for the future. And Takeshita is definitely one of those guys.
Jon Moxley is definitely the ace of AEW. He's shown time and time again on why he is what he does. And also him and Takeshita have a lot of respect for each other. And this is going to be a good match. Like, this is actually one of the matches I'm looking forward to see at Revolution outside of the ladies' matches. This match in particular, and also seeing Takeshita grow within the last year, starting to be on his own alongside Kyle Fletcher. But I would pick Takeshita, but I'm going to pick Jon Moxley to retain. Because I think something is going to happen within the Don Callis family, because we know he's going to face off against Okada somewhere down the line. It's going to implode. And also the aftermath of the match, it's like I could see somewhere like Okada and Takeshita like butting heads, because he'll be on that babyface run. Takeshita. And also my other bold prediction I have, Jon Moxley's going to be kicked out of the Death Riders by this year. I don't know how, but
maybe. Start the timer now.
Yeah.
John TKO need that Shield reunion in Saudi.
Well,
Shield versus DX 2027. Start the timer now.
Not DX, bro. Like,
nah, not in Saudi.
Need that Shield reunion, John.
No way.
Think about the TKO money.
Oh my God,
you know how upset fans will be that didn't happen here.
That would cause a ruckus on social.
Especially when we heard the Shield music in Philly.
Crazy. But we have 2 more matches to go. We have the AEW World Tag Team titles. FTR taking on the Young Bucks.
I don't care.
Thank you for saying it, honey. Because I
don't care.
also
Because we've been saying this since weeks ago, Courtney. We're tired of seeing this shit.
I was gonna say this too. This is a match I really don't care about. And you know, it's shockingly, I'm a person that loves tag team matches, and this is probably the only match I don't even care for.
yeah, I'll take FTR retaining and hope that it's that. But yeah.
I'm gonna stand on what I said, and I'm gonna stick with the greatness of my former coach, Mike Tomlin. We do not care.
I'm only picking FTR only because Edge and Christian are going to come back soon and just have them face each other at Dynasty in Canada. That's all I'm saying. Just have them come back.
All right now.
That's all I have to say. And
So
then
instead of ENC, they're going to be CNC. That right? And
I mean, yeah.
We'll be Cope and Christian. I mean,
actually, as Christian would say, Cage and Cope. That's what he said in the promo.
Okay.
It's Cage and Cope. That's what Christian said, but I don't know.
I will never call Edge.
I know it's crazy. Now we got this match, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship in a Texas death match. MJF, the Princey looking championship against the Cowboy, Hangman Adam Page.
correct me if Hangman were to win this match, that would make him a 3-time champion.
Correct.
The only other 3-time champion is Mox, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I get that it's Hangman's specialty, but I see MJF winning and retaining.
Honey?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Hangman. It's a Texas death match, and that's something that Hangman is all too familiar with.
We in Los Angeles, though.
It's a death match, though. Has MJF ever been in a death match?
This is his first one. And it's on his birthday, by the way.
Oh, well, happy freaking birthday to him. He's gonna get a few gifts from Hangman Adam Page, I think. Quite a few gifts. I'm not looking forward to that. That's gonna be a brutal match. The Texas death death matches are.
Wasn't there something that happened in the presser, and if it was a fake presser, somebody in the chat let me know. I don't know if those were like actual questions that were from journalists or whatever, but didn't they ask him like, "Who are you?" in AEW to Hangman Page?
They did. And also I did want to put out for the record, because I mentioned this on my watch along, it was real because I did hear Denise ask a question. So she was in the audience.
So that question to me is like the same thing we should be asking Cody, like outside of the title picture, outside of having the belt, like who are you in this company? Like, I think we know who MJF is. So that's for me why I don't think Hangman wins, because like his chase has always been his greatest asset as a character, not so much as a defending champion.
It's going to be very interesting because if Hangman loses, he can't challenge for the AEW World title again. But I'm only picking the scumbag birthday boy. Only because, I know, and it's on his birthday. I want to see what Hangman does without being in the title picture.
Can't challenge MJF as champion, or can't challenge for the title?
Can't challenge for the title at all.
Oh, so you're going to give him the Cody treatment.
Yep.
Okay. No, yeah, he needs a side quest. He needs to go on a drinking binge again, get in the side quest, do some other stuff.
Oh, God.
Maybe change his name. Wait,
are you sticking with what you said, or are you changing?
I'm still taking MJF. I think having that caveat would do a great benefit to the Hangman Page character.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm only picking MJF to retain only because it's going to be interesting how the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament is going to look like. And also with the fact, too, you got guys like Bobby Lashley hunting you down because he made a threat to you after you got kicked out of the Hurt Syndicate, saying, if you're champion, I'm going to find you. And you also got to deal with Will Ospreay, who's making his return soon. But that is AEW Revolution. It's going to be a fun weekend this weekend. If you are in LA, we do have some people from our WWT team that will be on deck and in the media scrum. So if you're around, just say hello to them. They're nice people. And also with the fact too,
awesome
I am not a nice person. Do
What?
not speak to me in public. do not.
Oh my God, Seth.
I mean, come on.
I mean, you're cordial, aren't you?
You're informative.
You're approachable.
I mean,
No, I mean, damn.
I'm halfway joking, but we'll.
But if you do see people from WWT in
If
the
I
weekend,
ever see you outside,
just say
I'm
hello.
like,
Just say hello. And also, I will be doing a watch along at AEW Revolution on Sunday as well. So feel free, if you're not attending the show, you can always hang with me on Sunday. First pay-per-view of 2026. But yeah, that wraps up AEW Revolution. And that wraps up our Friday edition of WWT Live, because we know Honey's got to get ready for 3 hours of SmackDown. And we want to give her time back.
Oh, yeah.
But Honey, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me in the next 30 minutes. Back on here. We're gonna hang here for 3 hours, and we're gonna watch some SmackDown and see what is planned or what is not planned for WrestleMania yet, and see what bodes for SmackDown with our matches and whatnot. You guys can find me here buzzing every now and then, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with WWT, kayfabe every Thursday with the boys, as well as all things Wrestling with Honey on the socials and the Wrestling with Honey podcast on YouTube.
Said, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at says, on the gram and TikTok at said is the answer. You can find me at all things Lucha Lola and hashtag Big Grande is World Championship material. And of course, on your Monday Night Mirror, the post shows. Those are things that we're going to be doing every Monday. But those places you can find me. If you do happen to see me on Sunday, make sure you wave before you approach. Give me equal
wave.
So
wave.
Make sure I acknowledge it before you run up on me. That's all I'm gonna say. Just do the wave.
What if I walk up to you and go like this? You're not gonna do it back?
Too sweet.
Too sweet.
All right, okay.
Make sure I see it.
You do that, you're not gonna do it back. Like,
just make sure I see it. That's all. Like,
Oh my God. Well, people can always find.
The mayor gets startled easily.
Mayor's jumpy.
Okay. The people can always find me chirping periodically as much as I can on WWT Live. Wednesdays, I handle AEW Dynamite. Don't forget, Sunday, I will be doing a watch on for AEW Revolution. And also, shout out to ISBW, because if you are there tonight, they're in Hackenstown, New Jersey tonight. Kurt Angle, Tito Santana, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan will be there tonight. Also, tomorrow, the Wrestling Collector will be selling 5 years. 5-year anniversary tomorrow. And also there will be a meet and greet where Indy Hartwell will be in the building. So if you're in North Jersey and if you want to find something to do, and also if you do watch TNA wrestling and a fan of Indy, just come on out and celebrate. So shout out to Tommy Fier and the rest of the team for that. Also, you can follow me on my socials at CourtneyNJ11. I'm going to be trying to put as much content in as I can, whether it's wrestling or PR or whatever. So feel free to follow me on that. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Actually, shout out to the rest of our WWT team as well. Like you said, they'll be around in Los Angeles during Revolution. So if you see them, just say hello. Just say hello. Shout out to Lynette Zaya. Shout out to Boza, Cousin Ron, Zach Minner, our producer from the future, Dylan. Everybody in the chat for joining with us on this Friday edition of WWT Live. I hope you guys survived daylight savings and enjoying a little bit of sunshine in the later evenings. But thank you guys all for this Friday edition of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.